Hey everyone, this is Koopa Kingdom Fans and Gaming, back with ceiling fans. You may have known this one from earlier, like in the summertime. Well, I'm going to bring it back, this time with a commentary video. This is a Litex Close Up. It was made by Aircool in 1985, November 1985 to be exact. This thing is a marketplace find, and I have been after a footprint vent ceiling fan for ever since I first seen them. And then in my dreams, I thought I actually had one, and I even got up to even check my collection to see if I had one, and I thought I had one in my collection but I thought I had one in my collection, and I didn't. That was until I picked up what you're gonna see in that box sometime soon. I also, when I was younger, there was a grocery store. Of course, it was one of them like bigger grocery stores, something like Kroger, Giant Eagle. It was a Giant Eagle store. But in there was a deli, like a deli restaurant or whatever, and it had a footprint vent hugger with 5 blades on it. And it looks something similar to this. Now this one here is different than that one, because that one that I saw before had plain. This thing here has stencil on its blades. They're plywood blades. Oak, of course, with stencil. And if you can count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yep, 5 blades with stencil, making this thing a not so common ceiling fan. Typically, fans like these with the stencil blades, no matter what vent design, even if they're like the basic or even the vents that look like shoe prints, they typically, if they had stencil, it would be 4-bladed. But this one here would be is a 5-blade stencil. Typically, if you see a 5-bladed one, either they're plain or they have cane in them. I do have a set of cane, but this fan came with these stencil sets, so I decided I was gonna put these on there because, yeah, it was a marketplace listing. Like I said, it was a pretty close one too. We went exploring because we went kind of explored a little bit. It was actually pretty close. So I thought, if that thing has stencil blades and it is what I thought it was, then maybe maybe the $30 that it was listed for would be worth it. So yeah, why chase it down? So I got it for $30. This thing here is not your basic hugger fan's performance. Now, of course, typical huggers, they typically have blades that are typically closer to the ceiling. This thing, of course, is not a box in there. This would be simulating the actual ceiling. So if you install this in your home, let's see how much of a distance between the blade and the ceiling is. Seven inches from the ceiling. It's a pretty close one. It's probably why it's called close up. It's close up to the ceiling, But yeah, this one here is dated November 1985. The sticker is on the mounting plate, which is a pretty heavy stamped mounting plate. It's a pretty heavy stamped mounting plate, and it basically just covers the whole surface area, the top side of the canopy, the motor housing here. This thing has some sturdy construction. Yeah, very hard to bend that thing. I couldn't even bend it at all. The arms are pretty sturdy too. They're perfectly aligned. Blades are perfectly aligned. The tassels are not original. The lights are not original, except, well, this fitter right here is original. This globe is original. Well, they came with a fan. I don't know if they're original, but they came with the fan. But this light right here and its globes and the tassels were all add-ons by me. This one here, you may remember from way back in, way back in the times of, way back in the earlier times of my channel. Maybe not too early, probably like 2019, I don't know, 18, 19, something like that. When this is the light kit that was on my Sears Lasco Turn of the Century. So I thought, if I'm struggling to get the arms for that fan, I might as well do something with that light kit. Since it looks like it can take something on the bottom, I might as well just try to take the nut out and put a light on the bottom. Turned out to be this. Yep. We got a 5-bladed, we got a 5-light. This is not a 3-way light kit. Of course, you got 2 tassels right here. This one here, controlling the center light. And inside of that is a remote controlled LED color changer. Basic one, pretty much, though. Probably one of the cheaper ones, the $10 ones, you know. If I can find the remote. If I can find the remote to this light. Oh, yep, I got it. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna grab the remote to the fan. And yeah, we got the 16 color remote and the 4 modes. I'm gonna set it to this because I just like this mode right here. If it would respond, sometimes this thing doesn't respond. This chain right here controls this thing. Now, this thing right here, obviously, the fan. I have it set to high because this is not the controlling system I'm going to use. This will be what I'm going to use to control the fan. I turned the dimmer off on this thing so it will just go straight on and off. Because, of course, if I turn the dimmer on this remote on, it'll break all my CFLs. I don't want that. Especially this one here is one of my favorites. The yellow one. It's one of them shorter ones. So, yeah, 5 stencil blades. The more fancier stencil. Typically seen on fans of this vent style. Litex, of course. Because, yeah, this fan was made by Aircool for Litex. I don't know where these are sold in the time. I've been told like Walmart and all that. Who knows? Well, let's talk fans. Let's talk about the fan itself instead of the light. It is powered with a 172 millimeter stamp motor. It's a pretty tall one. No, it's not one of them 153s. You might think it's a 153. Nope, it's a 172. I opened it up. Of course, large motor. It's gonna fly. Well, I thought it was gonna fly. How about to you guys? Do you think this thing's gonna fly? Well, let's find out. Shall we? Start it up on low. The fan is not in the best of shape. It does have some surface rust, and it does have some scratches on the blades. It's also quite dirty. One thing I like though, bearings are silent. Dead silent. It's got a slight bit of hum. Also, another thing I like about this thing, I thought the reverse switch would be broken because the first time I didn't really quite work when I lined it right. It actually was a functional reversing switch. And I'll demonstrate that later. This may be one long video with all the commentary, but yeah. There's a non-commentary video without this light, of course. I'll do one with this light. And I'll do the same with the Not So Hugger model, the Ellington Deluxe. Average speed, doing about 60. Blade pitch is 12 degrees. According to the catalogs that these would have been ordered from. It's got a nice breeze for low. Good thing for sleeping. Motor hum is a little bit more noticeable. Fan is beginning to wobble. The blades are lined. However, it seems as if they may be out of balance, like weight wise. I'll have to check that out soon enough. I'll have to check that out soon. Check out the balance of this fan. Find out which blades need to be swapped over. Try to balance this thing. Because I don't want to be putting weights on top of these stenciled blades. Of course, I don't know if the rig's going to stay up to this all the time. It seems like it's sturdy enough for it. I don't know. Alright. Moment of truth. Think this game's going to fly on high? We're already doing like... like 140, something like that RPM. This would be the average high on a, this would be about the average high of your cheaper 153mm stamped steel fans. You know, like those cheaper ones like Heritage and all that. With the 153mm motors. So let's try on high. Motor hum is more pronounced. Wobble slows down a little bit. And of course, this thing is pretty wicked fast for Hugger. That 12-degree blade pitch, back with 210 RPMs of on high speed. Pretty good amount of air for a Hugger fan. Good amount of air for a Hugger. Bearings are still dead silent. And now you can basically hear just the slightest bit of hum and a lot of air movement coming from those blades. This thing is impressive in terms of its air movement. Well, let's let it coast. There should be rubber grommets on the bracket. They're not there. There's literally no isolation, like no rubber isolation pads on the bracket anywhere. Well, there was, but they peeled off. So it's metal on wood, metal on metal if I had a box. it would probably amplify the sound. Fan has come to a complete stop. Let's do this and reverse it. Starting on the lowest speed. And now. Gotta make sure my curtains are tied down, because somehow this thing likes to suck up my curtains because of how powerful it is. This is one of them more powerful close-ups, the better ones. With the wider blades, the big motors. I've seen other models on YouTube, not really in person, but I've seen a lot of people with like cane and plane, or if they had Stencil 4-blade, but not very many 5-blade Stencil ones. I'm sure there are some out there. The model number on this fan is CU52AB5. CU for close-up, 52 for 52 inches in diameter, AB for antique brass, and 5 blades. There are many different variants of this fan. There's 42 inch, there's 52 inch. There's the 4-bladed ones, typically seen with like plain cane or stencil. Then there's the 5-bladed ones, plain cane or stencil. And then the even more rare one, the 6-bladed close-up. I am still trying to find a 6-bladed close-up. But those things are extremely rare. I'd be really happy to show it to you if I had a 6-bladed close-up. But until then, I'm happy with the 5-bladed one I have here. Because you see more 4-bladed ones of stencil than you see 5-bladed ones of stencil. Okay, that's low, average. Really no difference. Let's turn it up. There goes the wobble again. Fan is noticeably slower on medium. You may not see it in camera, but I do see it in person. About 140, 135, 140, I don't know. Still going pretty fast for a medium. Ooh, I got a little lag in my camera. Let's turn this thing up. For some reason, I'm getting a little bit of lag. No difference, it seems like. Still doing 210. And I can actually feel that thing trying to suck me up. So let's turn it off and let it coast. And then, once it comes to a complete stop, I'll end the video for you guys. Or wrap it up, I should say. Hopefully I can get the frame rate fixed on the camera. I don't know if I am actually going to get a 60 FPS rating on this camera when it comes out. Okay, we've came to a complete stop. So, guess I'm gonna wrap it up. So, that'll be it for this Litex Close Up 52-inch 5 stencil hugger from 1985, made by Aircool.